So, good day and each and everyone. So, here is the continuation of our reports. So, once again, our topic is about improvisation in various art form, including the contact body improvisation, sound improvisation, and theater improvisation. So, di ba na-interrupt yung discussion natin last meeting? So, ito na po yung continuation. And I hope na makinig po kayo kasi sa dulong part ng aming report is meron kaming konting tanong and then kapag nasagot nyo siya, PM nyo po sa akin yung tamang sagot and then kapag umabot po kayo sa first 5 na makakapag ng sagot is exempted po kayo sa quiz namin. So, ito na po ang continuation. Sana panoorin nyo.
P6. The root of contact is a study of physics of body moving through contact. We create for ourselves precarious situations and unusual tasks relative to another body and then see how we solve the problems and how our body self-organized to survive. This is the root curiosity. Keeping this as the root of our exploration gave us a container that has allowed amazing explorations to evolve that otherwise would likely have never evolved if the relational emotion of touch and proximity had been invested in as the primary explorations. This gave us an amazing practice for study of body use. Should we choose to investigate them, this focus on the physical gave us a kind of container for exploration of emotion. Stand or the small dance. A simple meditation. First, find a comfortable standing position. Second, scan the body for excess tension and inefficient ways of holding the body and allow the body to become more easily aligned with less unnecessary muscle use. From here, with just a little attention, it will become obvious that the body is still in motion. The small dance of reflexes below the level of consciousness which keeps the body standing. One watches the small dance, perhaps for a minute, perhaps for an hour. Taking into the larger dance of body on contact, one realizes that within the larger dance, there is always the small dance which can be tuned to, related to with curiosity. This study of the small dance is one of the primary foundations of contact improvisation. All movement that we choose is in the context of the ongoing small dance. Rolling point of contact. Two bodies touch in one area or point of contact. This point can either roll or slide. This is not a rule of contact, but a fact of reality. We study what happens if we don't let it slide, but roll. Do what we need to in order to follow it. Experiment with directing it or using it. We notice that for a given amount of weight, a rolling point has a greater friction force, sticking friction or stick tension in engineering slang, in comparison to a sliding point, falling and rolling, movement into and out of the floor to support the pursuit of more and more precarious situations. We learn how to move into and out of the floor more fluidly at greater speed from greater heights. We get comfortable using the landing gear of the hands and feet, learning how to use the pliable blending of the arm and legs for shocks absorption and catching of weight falling with us. We learn how to slide and roll out falls, side rolls and diagonal. Rolls should become comfortable so that we get freer to follow contact through more unpredictable orientation and further off balance. Weight exchange, counterbalance, and off balance. Mutual support, neither partner on their base of support, but being supported by the other. Keeping the sense of off balance is a constant challenge to wakefulness. It is about a surrendering of some fraction of personal control of your own movement and a receiving of partial control of our partner's movement. We then become one organism composed of two. The 5 rhythms: flowing, staccato, chaos, lyrical, and stillness are states of being. They are mapped to everywhere we want to go on all planes of consciousness, inner and outer, forward and back, physical, emotional, and intellectual. They are markers on the way back to a real self, a vulnerable, wild, passionate, and instinctive self. In flowing, we physically practice the art of being fluid in our bodies. Flowing is the pipeline to our inner truth, the impulse to follow the flows of one's own energy, to be true to oneself, listening and attending to our needs, receptive to our inner and outer worlds. When we open up to the flow of our physical beings, all other pathways open. It is one of the most beautiful and fascinating ways of dancing. To be in, to be around, and to watch. Men and women that embody the rhythm of flowing are supple, flexible, surrendered, and trust their feet to lead them where they are meant to go. In staccato, we physically practice the power of masculine energy. It is persuasive and strong and promotes connection with the rest of the world. Staccato is the gateway to the heart. It shows us how to step out into the world connected to our feet and our feelings. This rhythm is the ruler of our linear world, the ruler of the warrior part of us, the part of us that shown up as the truth and clarity. It is the part of us that stand up for what we care about, who we love, and what we love. Staccato is the fear teachers of boundaries, and it is the protector and ambassador of our fluid being. Visually, a man or woman fully embodied in the rhythm of staccato is defined, clear, connected, and not fearful of the transparent expression of their heart. Whether dancing staccato alone, in partnership, or in group, it is a always powerful experience. In chaos, we physically practice the art of fully releasing our bodies. We let go of the head, spine, hips, and feet and move faster than we can think. Chaos breaks us free of our illusions and throws us headfirst into the beat. It takes us on the journey from I can to I will. The simple practice of chaos immediately brings us back to our bodies, to the moment. This rhythm liberates us from all ideas about who we are and gives us a real experience of being total, free, initiative, and creative. Chaos is the gateway to the big mind. Dancing chaos is the practice of going into the unknown, not fearing what's on the other side. Visually, we look like a big, hot giant, sweaty mess overflowing with chaotic energy. This is our big dance, our breakout dance, our breakthrough dance. In lyrical, we practice the art of coming out of chaos. It is the physical, energetic, emotional, and spiritual dancing rebirth. The practice of lyrical teaches us how to break out of destructive patterns and surrender in the depths of the fluid, creative repetitions of our soulful self, bubbling up from the deepest part of ourselves to the integrity and dignity that we often forget is within us. Lyrical is expansive and connects us to our humanity. Timeless rhythms, repetition, patterns, and cycle. Lyrical is more of a state of being than a rhythm, as it can be a crystal clear expression of any of the rhythms in their lightness. We become light in our feet like birds flying in the air, but make no mistake. In lyrical, we are grounded and fully empowered. Being still and doing nothing are totally different. Stillness moves both within and all around us. The dance is our vehicle, our destination is the rhythm of stillness. Our challenge is to be a vessel that keeps moving and changing. Physically, in the dance of stillness, we move in slow motion, like highly unpredictable meditative Tai Chi masters. Shapes from the past, the present, and the future come through us. Shapes of the feminine and the masculine and the magic dance they do together. Moving in stillness and being still in the motion, fuse the accumulation of our body's life experience into one true wisdom. Eventually, we dissolve into still sitting meditation where all the other rhythms of our journey converge in the vital resonance of stillness.
We want to live in a world where people Everyone feels free to experience wonder.
We want to live in a world where communication is compassionate, vulnerable, and empathetic.
We want to live in a world where art is not spectacle.
I want to live in a world where freedom means something.
We desire to live in a world where racism and transphobia no longer kill us.
I dream of a world in which every body has the chance to move expressively and without judgment. We want a world that can respect and learn from the histories in our community and body.
Yo quiero vivir en un mundo where language is no longer a barrier.
I live in a world where I can roll around with my friends the way you roll around with your kids and your dog.
Now, let's proceed to sound improvisation. So it is known as a musical extemporization. It is the creative activity of immediate or in a moment musical composition, which combines performance with communication of emotions, instrumental technique, as well as spontaneous response to other musicians. So when we say improvisation, ano nga ba? It is the activity of improvising. Improvising of new music, creating new music without preparing in advance kasi nga spontaneous siya, biglaan, hindi planado. Kasi nga yung improvisation, it's the act of doing or making the music not planned beforehand. Kaya, it is a very spontaneous performance because there is no specific script. There's no preparation. There's no scripted preparation when doing sound improvisation. So this is the history of sound improvisation. Throughout the eras of Western art, music tradition, including medieval, Renaissance, Baroque, classical, and Romantic periods, improvisation was a valued skill. So during this time, during this era, yung sound improvisation, isa siya sa mga katangian or abilidad na tinitingala, nirespeto, hinahangaan dahil talaga naman, totoo naman talaga napakahirap talaga mag-improvise. Lalo na kung music kasi if we will say music, kailangan hindi mababaw lang yung kaalaman mo in order for you to improvise. Kailangan malalim na, talagang bihasa na talaga katulad ni J.S. Bach, Handel, Mozart, Beethoven, Chopin, Liszt, and many other famous composers and musicians. And all that I've mentioned is known for their improvisational skills. Yung mga nakakapag-improvise lang talaga is very creative musician. Kasi when we say creative, they are not limited to just playing already made music. Ano sila, flexible sila. They can able to change the music, improve them, create new music, new melodies, new harmonies automatically without even preparing it beforehand. On the spot. So these are musicians who know what they are doing. They are the ones who fully understand what is behind the chord notation and the notes para meron silang mga musical dialogues. Ganun ka-genius yung mga musicians na kayang mag-improvise ng sound. During the Renaissance period, following the invention of music printing at the beginning of the 16th century, there is more detailed documentation of improvisational practice in the form of published instruction manuals, mainly in Italy. At dahil nga existing na yung music printing, merong detailed documentation ng improvisational practice in Italy. So maybe in this instructional manual, meron ditong guide or the techniques on how to improvise sound. So the future musicians may know how to effectively improvise their sound. So singer and instruments improvised melodies, and keyboard players likewise performed extempore or freely formed pieces. So when we say extempore, it is doing something without preparation. So yun nga, freely, there's freedom. You can freestyle. You can use your own style. No, parang malawak o malayang gawin. Malayang be flexible into creating new sound without preparation, so extempore. During the Baroque period, the kinds of improvisation practiced during the Renaissance continued into the early Baroque, though important modifications were introduced. So firstly, in melodic instrument, 18th century manual make it clear that performers on the flute, violin, and other melodic instruments were expected not only to ornament previously composed pieces but also spontaneously to improvise preludes. So hindi naman sila prohibited to just use composed pieces, no? Pero but they are encouraged or expected na dapat hindi lang sila nakalagay sa mga ready-to-play music na, sa mga ready-to-play composition. Dapat yung mga melodic instruments such as flute, violin, and other melodic instruments, they must also know how to spontaneously improvise preludes. Kailangan alam nila how to make or improvise sound without preparation, spontaneously, biglaan, on the spot. Next is yung basso continuo or the same accompaniment and was mainly improvised. The composer usually providing no more than a harmonic sketch called the figured bass. And sa basso continuo, yung tawag sa process ng improvisation is realization. And lastly, organ, improvisation, and church music. So, improvisation remains a feature of organ playing in some church services and are regularly also performed at concert. So, sa amin din, sa church namin, share ko lang din na every time na matatapos na mag-preaching pastor namin, papaakit na rin yung, yung keyboardist and then he will play freestyle kung ano man yung tugtugin niya. So, mag-play lang siya ng keyboard doon para as background music sa pastor namin. So, parang improvise lang rin yon from the original melody. Parang ma-sustain lang yung momentum ng preaching. So, ganun ginagamit rin, or siguro originally talaga from Baroque period siya, and then adapt na siya until now kasi ginagamit din siya sa church namin, and whenever I visit other churches and nakikita ko rin na ginagawa rin nila ito. In the classical period, keyboard improvisation. All classical pianists improvised. Some improvised well and some badly, but they all spent at least some of their time at the keyboard creating spontaneous music. In this period, napaka-in-demand ng parang siguro yung measurement ng greatness in playing keyboard is for a musician to know how to improvise well. Kasi it is told na there are some who improvised badly, pero every musician spend their time, naglalaan sila ng oras to train, to practice, in order to create spontaneous music using the keyboard. And for example, si Mozart and Beethoven, sila yung excellent example ng improvisation. So they have this set of variations and sonatas which they publish and in their written out cadenzas. Now, in Romantic period, extemporization or the sound improvisation, both in the form of introductions to places and links between places, continued to be a feature of keyboard concertizing until the early 20th century. So yung keyboard concertizing, ito yung concerts na gamit as keyboard. So during this time, sa concert na to, parang most commonly ginagamit is improvisation. Gumagamit ng sound improvisation or extemporization. So examples ng mga musicians na gumagamit ng improvisation were Franz Liszt, Felix Mendelssohn, Anton Rubinstein, Paderewski, Percy Grainger, and Bachmann. And for the last period for sound improvisation is the modern period. The notable improvisational musicians from the modern era include Keith Jarrett. He is an improvisational jazz pianist and multi-instrumental. Next is W.A. Matthew, also known as William Aladi Math. He was a musical director for the Second City in Chicago, and he is the first ongoing improvisational theater troupe in the United States. Next is Derek Bailey, also improvisational guitarist. And lastly, Eugene Friesen. He is an improvisational cellist.
Jazz improvisation. So, the process of spontaneously creating fresh melodies over the continuously repeating cycle of chord changes of a tone. So, ang improviser ay ito yung nakadepende sa mga contour ng original tune, sa mga possibilities, sa mga harmonies ng chords. So, jazz improvisation, ito yung pinakamahusay na music sounds composed and that the best composed music sound improvised. So, etong si Joe Henderson, siya yung nag-iisa sa mamatika mula sa trumpet playing ni Kenny Dorham.
My name is Eli Yeaman, Head of Instruction for the Middle School Jazz Academy, and this is Improvisation. Improvisation is one of the defining features of jazz. From the collective improvisation of early jazz, to the solo improvisation of Louis Armstrong and Mary Lou Williams, to the free jazz of Albert Ayler, Ornette Coleman, and John Coltrane. Improvisation has always been central to this music, and some of the guiding principles of improvisation include making up music with whatever resources are available, playing around with the rhythm, embellishing the melody of a piece, and infusing what you play with your feeling and unique personality. Improvisation builds relationships among the members of the band, helping them to talk to one another and express their personalities in real time and in community with the audience. One technique commonly used in improvisation is called embellishment. Take a common melody like Back Home in Indiana. Now what happens when she plays around with the melody a little bit? Changes the rhythm. Becomes a lot more fun, a lot more personal. Now when you add the band, additional things happen. The band interacts with the melody and with the soloists, and they provide a rhythmic and harmonic foundation. In fact, if we do our jobs well, she's going to feel free as a bird to make this music her own. Let's do it.
Theater improvisation, a form of live theater in which the plot, characters, and dialogue of a game, scene, or story are made up in the moment. Often, improviser will take a suggestion from the audience or draw on the other source of inspiration to get started. So, ang improvisational theater o madalas na tinatawag na improvisation or improv, it is the form of theater, often comedy, kung saan lahat o karamihan ng gumaganap ay hindi planado or wala silang script, kusang nilikha ng mga gumaganap. Origin of theater improvisation. Some key figures in the development of improvisational theater are Viola Spolin and her son Paul Sills, founder of Chicago's fame, Second City Troupe, and originator of theater games, and Del Close, founder of Improvisation Olympic, along with China Halper and creator of a popular long-form improvisation format known as the Herald. So, si Viola Spolin daw at ang kanyang anak na si Paul, sila yung iilan sa pangunahing tauhan sa pagbuo ng improvisational theater. Two types of theater from improvisation. So, in the modern performing arts world, most improvising falls into one of two categories: short form improv and long form improv. So, short form improvisation is made of short scenes around a predetermined structure or game that are driven by audience involvement. So, dito sa short form improvisation, ito yung binubuo ng maikli or self-contained ng mga eksena. So, dito naman sa long form improvisation is a whole show of short scenes with related characters, stories, or themes. So, dito naman yung mas malawak kaysa sa mga short form na laro.
Alright, so the theme for tonight is uncertainty, which is great because we don't know what's going to happen over the next 12 or 13 minutes.
This could be the best 12 minutes of your life or the worst.
Yeah.
I promise you that.
So what we're going to be doing is Jolie and myself, we will be improvising a scene for you. We'll be telling a story. It'll be all improvised. We don't know what's going to happen. And while we're doing that, the gentleman from the Boreal Electroacoustic Music Society will be improvising music to what we're doing. And we didn't have time to make a PowerPoint slide, so we'll have two painters painting our own PowerPoint slide that goes along with what we're doing.
They also are creating based off your suggestion. So we're going to get a suggestion from you, and everything that's going to be on stage is going to come from that. It's going to be inspired by it, and we have no idea what we're going to do.
Yeah. So, and it's all based off suggestions from you. So just to get you guys warmed up, on the count of 3, if you were all to shout out your favorite color, 1, 2, 3, you would all say. Just sounds like brown.
It's like a wash. It comes up.
All right, cool. So you guys are warmed up. We're warmed up. I'm ready to do this TED Talk.
Absolutely.
From you guys, just the deepest, darkest yearning. What is a TED Talk topic you'd love to see but know you never will? Just shout it out. Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
I heard mayonnaise. I heard puppies.
Okay, we're taking both.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, improvisation.
Dad.
Yes?
Dad, all the other kids get cool lunches. You always just make mayonnaise on 2 slices of bread and call it a day.
It's a mayonnaise sandwich, Sandy. It's a family tradition. Your grandfather subsisted on mayonnaise sandwiches through the entire siege of Stalingrad, and I will be gosh darned if we eat anything other than mayonnaise sandwiches.
Look, you and I know both that I just feed it to old Rex over here anyway.
I know, and
I
Rex...
hate mayonnaise.
What did you just say?
Dad, I'm sorry, okay? I know it's a family tradition and I know
You're just like your mother!
Don't say that. I'm nothing like Mom.
Everyone's leaving me. Everyone's leaving me and my sweet, sweet mayonnaise.
Dad, Mom didn't just leave you, okay? It's horrific. No, stop it. Stop it.
No.
You gotta move on. You gotta move on from mayonnaise just like you have to move on from Mom. All right, she left not just you, she left both of us to go and experience new things. She was sick and tired of just mayonnaise. She was sick and tired of just waking up and not having a full life.
It's so scary out there, though. Look, let's just smudge this mayonnaise off the window.
Live a weird life, Dad.
It's a bleak, mayonnaise-less desert out there. You don't want to do it.
Dad, I think we need to. I think you, me, and Rex, come here, what? I think that we need to. Oh, he slipped right out. He was covered in mayonnaise. We gotta be a family. We gotta experience life. I mean, what do you think Mom's doing right now?
Good.
Yes.
I found you great.
That's right. I don't regret. Okay, we're back. Okay.
I don't know. She's probably getting fed grapes by some hunchback or something.
That's a weird thing to assume.
You're right.
Look, whatever she's doing, it's got to be more flavorful than this.
Wow, okay. You're right, okay. Look, get this backpack.
I was wearing one. I'll change it.
All right, I'll put on yours.
Okay.
All right.
That's right. I played Dad. You played Sandra.
I've got so much to learn. Let's pack some supplies.
All right.
Some mayonnaise?
No! No, Dad! Put him back. This is the first step to the rest of your life.
Never thought I'd be making that step without mayonnaise.
It's time, Dad. Let's experience other condiments.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's go to the grocery store.
On the count of 3, Sandy. 1, 2, 3.
And they went to the grocery store. They walked the 2.5 blocks to their local Sobeys. When they walked in, Papa was very drawn towards the mayonnaise aisle. But Sandra persevered, grabbing her father and sending him to a different aisle. Aisle 12.
Ketchup!
A full aisle of ketchup, Dad!
Oh.
That's right.
Oh, wow, I've never seen red before. I've never seen color before. This is like The Giver. This is like The Boy and The Giver.
I've also never seen a full aisle of ketchup because it doesn't exist in most sodas. But here we are, Dad. It's you and me. And we left Rex behind. That's okay. He needs to lick himself clean. Okay.
I'm just gonna, there's a knife maybe.
It's not coming out easy. But life isn't easy, Dad. Clink, clink.
Meanwhile, the mother.
We've been at this for 4 days.
Yes.
I'm full.
You can't be full.
So full. These grapes are, though delicious, they're not quite fulfilling.
When you found my ad on Craigslist, you said you'd eat grapes forever, okay? You can't back out on me now.
Look, knife. You said that you would fulfill me. You said that you would grant me every wish I desired, and all it's been is grapes.
I assumed all your wishes would be grape-related. Not a mind reader.
That's exactly what I was trying to flee from. Just one thing. I want to experience things. I want to experience life. And yet... Oh, sorry, excuse me, that was embarrassing.
Grapes will do that to you. Real acidic farts.
Ow! Ow! Oh.
What's happening to me too?
My heart! It hurts!
We need help! We need somebody to help us! My dad sends us tingling.
What is it, Dad?
Your mother's in trouble. She's pooping herself to death.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
At a tech conference, no
really
less.
Intelligent people on the stage earlier.
Everybody poops, okay?
Stop.
And right now your mother is pooping herself to death.
Stop saying it, okay? Look, if you think we have to go and find her, I mean, it's not exactly what looking forward, it's not exactly moving on. If you think it's the right thing to do, Dad, I'm behind you.
Okay, thanks. It's nice to know that you want to save your mother's life from pooping herself to death.
Let's go. And they walked, and his daddy's senses were tingling the whole way until they were so strong it led them to their mother.
Oh, nasty! We gotta get you out of here.
I regret playing the mom.
Let's go.
Wait. Why'd you come back for me? I left you.
I left mayonnaise. It may have taken me 4 days too long to realize it, but there's some things in this world more important than mayonnaise. Like my wife and my daughter. I've been such a fool.
No, I've been the fool. I mean, while I was being fed endless amount of grapes, I started to crave mayonnaise. I just kept dreaming of them dipped in mayonnaise. It would have been a smooth ride down the gullet. But more importantly, I missed you, and I missed our daughter. Wow, Mom. Thanks, because I don't know if it could just be me and Dad.
I was a good dad.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a months. And he was missing. I'm so sorry. I'll never leave you guys again.
I'll never leave you either. Come on, family, bring it on in.
All right. Come on.
Wow. It feels nice to be a family again.
What about me?
Wait, are you Knife or are you the dog?
I'm Knife.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Knife. Come on in.
Oh, no, Knife has nobody. Forget about Knife. A puppy.
Watch out, he's covered in mayonnaise.
Oh. You know, I bet if I fed a puppy grapes, it would eat forever. That's Knife's motivation.
Mom, Dad, what do you say we go home?
I think that's the best idea I've heard in a long time. Now, who wants some mayonnaise?
Guidelines for improvisation. Number 1. Never say no, don't deny. When you say no, you shut down the whole scene by denying the words you're trying to create. If your partner say it certainly is a nice day to build a sandcastle on the beach and you follow with no, you certain picked the wrong day to fight aliens in the space. The scene has nowhere to go. So instead, you should say yes and to continue the scene and add more details. So always agree and say yes. So kapag nag-improvise ka, it means you are required to agree with your partner has create. Don't try to be funny. If you try to play funny to the audience, they will that you're only looking for laughs and are not invested in your scene. If you concentrate on your scene, trust your instinct, and listen to your partners, the funny will come. Kung susubukan o itatry mong maglaro lang ng nakakatawa sa audience, hindi nakaka-invest yung scene. So, the very kind of improved scene you can do is an interesting scene, not necessarily a funny one. So, when you do an interesting scene, a very surprising thing happens. The funny comes out all by itself. Always establish a location and include lots of specific details. So, by adding lots of concrete details to your scene, you become invested. By adding lots of concrete details to your scene, concrete details can help you craft a compelling story that puts image in your reader's mind and help them visualize the action, learn more about how to use concrete details in your writing. Tips for improvisation. Be spontaneous. Number 1, state the obvious if you can think of what to do. Number 2, take baby steps. So, taking baby steps, an act that makes a very small amount of progress toward achieving something. Number 3, be logical. So, it is important because they can help you reason through important decisions, solve problems, generate creative ideas, and set goals. So, number 4, walk around the room and name things what they are for 1 minute as quick as you can. And last is, now walk around the room and name things what they are. Extend and advance. Give detail to color your scene and help audience to believe what you are doing. So, magbigay daw ng detalye upang kulayan o bigyan ng buhay ang mga eksena at para alam o matukoy o matulungan yung mga audience na mapaniwala kung ano yung ginagawa ng isang gumaganap sa scene. Person tells a story and person B calls out extend when they want more detail in the story. Person B can also call out advance. So when they have enough detail or they want the story to continue when the story is complete, swap over and person B tell the story. Number 3, make and accept offer. Have input rather than stand frozen. Don't block their offers. Say yes. And last, listen to what the other actors are doing and avoid talking over each other.
So here are references. And sabi ko nga kanina, may tanong muna kami pagkatapos ng lahat ng report. So, tanong ko, sagot mo. So, if you answer correctly, you are accepted in our quiz. So, Kapag may, alam niyo yung sagot, i-send nyo lang sa akin din. Malalaman nyo kapag tama yung sagot nyo, kapag sinabi kong exempted kayo. So, my first question is, what is the keyword for improvisation? Sinabi ko yon. And number 2 is, what are the 2 types of theater form improvisation? Number 3 is, what is the 5 rhythm? And number 4, sino yung dalawang teacher na nag-transfer ng theater games improvisation sa mga public stages? And last is, give all the examples that can improvise. So, yun. Chat nyo lang po sa akin yung mga sagot nyo and I will check it. So, thank you. Thank you for listening.